Oh my gosh. So this is the wreath that we are working with today. It is just a basic greenery wreath. It's about 28 inches in diameter. And I always use these type of wreaths for wreaths because each individual branch really is just a piece of floral wire. So you can use these to affix your accoutrement, your ribbon, whatever you're decorating your wreath with. So just a basic greenery wreath from your local craft store will do. So let's get started. I'm going to start with a garland. This is a pomegranate and magnolia leaf garland. It's got some cute little blueberries. And I'm gonna just go around the wreath and affix this right in the center just for some texture and just to start to get away from this basic Christmas greenery. I'm just gonna start at the very top and I'm taking one of the branches here and wrapping her around. And then I'm just gonna stay, for the most part, in the center of the wreath and just take either one branch or sometimes even two branches and wrap them around the base of this. And I kind of want to nestle this deep into the wreath, meaning I don't want it sitting out on the edge. I want it kind of nestled. Go around in the center of the wreath here just to give us a little bit of bulk and to get away from this given texture that it already has. And this particular wreath has two rings. You probably can't see this here, but there's an inner ring and an outer ring that are both covered in greenery. I like these when I'm using garland in the wreath because it kind of gives you a little space right in between to get your garland down into. Next, I have this. This is just purely magnolia leaf. I'm gonna go on the insides of that ring with this, the same idea, just taking a piece of our original wreath and using that to affix this into the heart of the wreath. And this one's because it's thinner, is a little bit easier. I'm gonna maybe zigzag just a little bit because I really want the finished product to not be too perfectly round. Just finding whatever branches are close to it and just twisting those around. And don't worry about that little tail there, it's just gonna be hidden. I really like for fall using magnolia leaves when I can because I like how they have this rich mustard color on the back. I feel like it adds a lot of dimension. I love how you can kind of get a little bit of both colors from the leaves. Next, I have this seeded eucalyptus garland, and this is going to give us a little bit of a lighter green color. I really don't want this to be too monotone. I feel like this is kind of needed to give just a little bit of breakup and a little bit of a departure from that dark green. So I'm just gonna open her up a little. And I really want this to kind of sprout and leap out of the wreath wherever possible. So I'm going to mostly focus on the outer edge while also making sure that I can seal the base of this garland because this is gonna stick out like a sore thumb if you see it. And she wasn't quite long enough to go all the way around, but that's fine. She wasn't quite ready to harvest, but it's okay, we're gonna use her anyway. So now we're going to make the biggest, most obnoxious bow to go on top of the wreath. So for our ribbons today, we have this stunning royal blue. It's got a gold lame backing on it as well as a gold lame piping and this braid in the center. She's stunning. So she's gonna be our 4-inch ribbon. I also have this 2.5-inch, just basic red velvet. I have also in 2.5-inch, a beautiful purple burlap, which is kind of, she's a little transparent. And then I also have in 2.5-inch, this orange faux suede damask stripe, which is lovely. This gorgeous cornflower blue faux suede. She's not wired. The other ribbons are wired, but she'll be fine. So we're gonna start with our widest ribbon here, and I'm just gonna dovetail her on the end. And I'm just gonna do a loop. Once I get going, I'm really just gonna hold the entire bow in between my thumb and my first finger. And I'm gonna start with a loop and a tail. Okay. And then another loop. Twist it, dovetail the bottom of that. And making bows, especially when you're making them large, as long as you start with your largest ribbon and then transition down to your smaller ribbons, just almost any series of loops and tails. I know this doesn't look like much now, but almost any series of loops and tails will give you what you need. Oh, I also forgot I have one other ribbon. I have this lovely 1.5 inch plaid that's got like a marigold, a mauve color, an eggplant, a little bit of an olivey green color. Because I do like to mix a little pattern. Alrighty, now we've got all of our loops and tails, and we're just gonna take a piece of floral wire here and wrap this around the heart of the bow really tightly. Now we're gonna affix this to the top of our wreath, and then we'll go and adjust all of our loops and tails. Okay, now that our bow is done, we're gonna go in with our picks. The first one I have is this cute little, it's like an orange maple leaf, like a little buttercream rose. So olives, I think those are, some eucalyptus, it's cute. I have 10 of these, and we're just gonna go all around the perimeter of the wreath, just filling in, starting to fill in our negative space. And as you can see, for the most part, I'm not really twisting any of the wreath around these. There's enough structure with the garlands that we've added and the wreath to kind of hold these in place. If you have kids and they slam the door, you have your dog burst out the front door when the mailman comes, you might want to secure these a little bit better. Next, I have 10 of these kind of a burgundy wine little fall picks. So I'm going to do the same thing, kind of trying to break up the orange. So just essentially going in between those. You want to make sure that they're kind of open and they have some room to breathe. You know, for the fall, I really try and find and use things that still look, things that look like they're thriving in the fall, not things that look like they're struggling to stay alive. I'm just not a fan of the whole brown orange color palette. Things look like they're struggling, they're dead. It's not my happy place. So instead, we're using color. I have 3 of these glittered pomegranates that we made. If you didn't see that short little video, I will link it here. But I have 3 of these, and these are top heavy, so everywhere that I put them, I am gonna use a branch to secure them. And I do wanna kind of use them as a focal point. I have 3 of these orange glittered guys. We have also done these green glittered little apple pears. And I especially love the leaves on these. They're gonna add a lot of fun. We have these blue guys. I always wanna call these hypericum berries or hypericum berries. I can't really remember, and I don't even know if that's accurate, but they're cute, so. So for our finishing touch, I have these dehydrated blood orange slices that have been, they've been shellacked, they've been coated in enamel, so hopefully they'll last outside. These I'm very excited about. I've never used these before. And these I just wired them onto just our normal piece of floral wire. And I'm just taking this piece of wire and wrapping it around. Oh my gosh. Okay, so we have recovered from our minor catastrophe. So come close and I'll show y'all around.